Hey everyone, my name is Felipe. Welcome to the channel Threads of Truth. Today we are looking at one of Metallica's darkest songs, Fade to Black. If you like Metallica and want to explore the deeper meaning behind the lyrics and discover why this song is so meaningful, stay here. So we need to start with the intro and solo. There is no wah pedal and it's beautiful how the solo fits the song. When I first heard this track as a teenager, I was amazed by the sound, the riffs, the vocals, the solos, but especially the lyrics. The lyrics are a big part of why I truly like Metallica. And then I have here, to prove a memory from Metallica. It's a single, this is the music one, and then two extra bonus tracks, 400 Beltos and amazing one, Welcome Home Sanitarium from 1980 something. So I think it was Hetfield that said in an interview that the beauty of music lies in the fact that you can relate to the song even if you didn't live the same situations of the writer. And I agree, you just put the earphones, just stay there, just listen to the song and disconnect and help you when you are, facing challenges. So Fade to Black is that kind of song. It has everything together. Have riffs, solos, feelings, lyrics. So that's the reason why we need to dive into the lyrics.
Life it seems to fade away, drifting further every day. Getting lost within myself. Nothing matters, no one else. I have lost the will to live. Simply nothing more to give. There is nothing more for me. I need the air to set me free. Oh!
So Fade to Black has a clear description of someone who is suffering and is lost, or is lost. For me, it speaks about someone that chooses to suffer alone or to hide, these thoughts and feelings while he's facing challenges, trials, and disappointment. And there are many ways to hide those feelings from others, smiles, silence, rage. When I was younger, it was through silence and earphone with loud Metallica songs. So, and it's true that this attitude could bring, depression, could bring loneliness, anger, and for some, even suicidal thoughts, just like Hetfield said in this particular show. It seems to me that Fade to Black, it's about someone ready to explode under an internal, external pressure, much like the song itself. which begins with a soft and melodic intro and then explodes into heavy riffs, representing that emotional explosion, just like now. We need to talk about the solos, you know. I have here a Guitar World from 1998, Reader's Choice, 100 greatest solos of all time, and you know, Fade to Black is 24. I agree, man. I don't know if you agree with me, but you know, solo is not about shredding and speed, but how the solo makes the music greater. And I think Fade to Black is like this, you know. You have those solos that just, you know, brings much more to the music and make Fade to Black a great song.
Things are what they used to be. I'm missing one inside of me. Death and loss, this can't be real. I cannot stand this hell I feel.
So changes and challenges can come from anywhere. You know, family struggles, school, job, work, relationship, even social media, you know. All of this is part of growing up. It is what it is. You cannot run from problems. You cannot run from challenges. These situations shape us and help us grow. But some are heavy and difficult that they can leave someone feeling lost along the way and, you know, feeling this hell inside.
Emptiness is killing me to the point of agony. Growing darkness taking on, I was me, but now he's gone. Yeah.
So we just need to stop here a little bit and then think about some words that we have here. There is emptiness, there is agony, there is growing darkness, taking down. So time will not solve, you know, this problem. It's the reality. Nobody take his own life after a day of sorrow. Just take time. That's the reason that time is not the solution when you are suffering like this. Life could be hard, you know, especially when you are growing. And I remind, you know, a day in my school when I was a teenager. It was my first week in a Newark public school, and you know, my country public schools are hard. I was struggling to make friends. I've tried playing soccer and, you know, just tried to fit, but I was beaten the whole match that day. So I went to class, and then I remember that in the middle of the class, someone very hard hit my head, and I looked behind, and there was a guy with their friends laughing on me. Suddenly others realized that and start to laugh, and even the beautiful girls of the class. So it was the worst day ever, you know, in the life of teenager. And there were times when I felt this darkness inside and this desire to stay in this unhappiness mode, this sadness, isolated from everywhere, from everyone, and angry, stuck in my thoughts with Metallica songs. So I can imagine this happening day after day with someone, you know. So time will not help. The growing darkness inside, it will become bigger and bigger. And having no one to share this weight, it will be a huge problem. That's the reason why James speak about this now.
Hey Phoenix, this Hear songs about suicide. If you didn't know, I'm sure you know someone who has done it, or if you've ever felt that inside, it sucks. But you are not alone. Please talk to someone. Get it out. Get it out of you. You are not alone!
So I truly prefer this version of James, you know, it's much better than the one from Cunning Stunts era. Not only because of the voice, not only because of the performance, but he's trying to use his music to help, you know. Fade to Black is that song that you can connect, and he's trying now to help someone that are facing problems or challenges like this.
Oh yeah!
So no one but me can save myself. It's a common thought, you know. Many believe the solution is found within, but that can be a dangerous mindset. This is a mistake that many motivational videos or coaches are trying to sell. The solution is inside of you. I don't agree. I think it's a lie. Finding the way out of this darkness that's not inside of you. This mentality can take you to the end of the music Fade to Black.
Yesterday seems as though it never existed. Oh, that keeps me warm. Now I want to say goodbye. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Goodbye.
So the end of this, you know, part of the music, it's heavy, you know. There's a combination of things happening. It's also sad. There is emotion, there is decisions, feelings. It's a great song to express, you know, feelings and thoughts, but didn't bring an answer. Just the fact of saying goodbye. So I remember when Chester Bennington from Linkin Park, his death was a surprise for everyone. He was on the top of his career, but with a sad ending. And we can name other great musicians that wrote great songs, had all the success and money, but ended like this, you know. So the answer to this darkness inside isn't found in a place, in power, or in possessions. I'd like to suggest that the answer is found in a person. Someone who knows more than anyone what it means to suffer, to feel sadness, loneliness, and even disappointment. say that Lars' drums here are amazing, Again, make this music, this song greater. So I prefer Kirk's live solos. You see the mistakes, you see the improvisation, you see new things, but also you see some guitar licks that are so important for the music that he's not going to change. And I think this is just like real life. There are great moments and not great moments in our lives. Some mistakes and some new great ideas, just like life. It has bad moments, good moments, bad choices, good choices. There is improvisation, new ideas, consequences, and sometimes moments of darkness because of mistakes or something. Darkness that bring us, to dark waters that are hard to escape from. And this reminds me of the story of Matthew chapter 14:22, the gospel of Jesus, When Jesus walked on the water, Peter took a leap of faith and started walking toward Jesus. But in the middle of the walk, he looked at the huge waves and began to sink in the dark waters. So the wave was real, the wind was real, the storm was real, the fear was real, the danger was real. But Jesus was also real. So then Jesus reached out his hand and pulled Peter out of those dark waters. The same is true for us. The problems are real. Whether you are a teenager or an adult, the humiliation is real, the sadness is real, the depression is real, the darkness is real. But so is Jesus' hand reaching out to save. In my own experience, when I am surrounded by darkness, when I feel this darkness growing inside, my escape is not a place, is not possession, is not, anything else. It's just a person, Jesus. The reality that he's right by my side, walking with me through the valleys that he knows very well. The reality that he understands about suffering has always pulled me out of my own Fade to Black. Sometimes, you can visit Fade to Black, but you don't need to stay there, and you don't need to stay there alone. Remember what James said, you are not alone, and Jesus is the God that knows about suffering. He also lived a life full of challenges, injustice, sorrow, and pain. There's a verse in the book of Hebrews, chapter 2, verse 18, that says, because he himself suffered when he was tempted, he is able to help those who are being tempted. Sometimes you can visit Fade to Black, but remember, you cannot stay there. So here's my challenge for you. If you feel like you are fading to black, remember, the darkness is real, but also Jesus.